Heritage is the things we inherit from the past that are important to us today and that we want to share with future generations. This includes physical things like old buildings, monuments, and natural areas, as well as non-physical things like traditions, customs, stories, and skills.
4.1.
The National Gallery in London, the Musée du Louvre in Paris, and the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York are the three most popular art museums in the world. They exhibit some of the most famous and popular paintings, as well as many rare and beautiful sculptures and objects. They all have long names, so I'm going to call them the National, the Louvre, and the Met. The National is the oldest museum. It opened in 1753 and is just a little older than the Louvre, which opened in 1793. The Met is the most recent of the three. Even so, it has been an art museum since 1870. The Met is the largest of the three. It's 190,000 square metres, more than twice the size of the second largest museum, the Louvre, which is only 60,000 square metres. The Met has a very wide-ranging collection, including North American, Asian, and European art. It also has a huge collection of 13,000 works of modern art. However, the Met has a relatively small collection of European paintings, only 1,700 works, compared to the Louvre, which has an amazing 7,500 works, including some of the most famous paintings in the world. The most famous painting of all is the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. The National has 2,300 paintings on display, including another very famous work, Van Gogh's Sunflowers. It's paintings like the Mona Lisa that attract a lot more people to the Louvre than either the Met or the National. A staggering 8.8 million people visited the museum last year. That's 2.8 million more than the Met and 3.6 million more than the National. The Louvre has better transport connections and is close to some of Paris's favourite tourist attractions, which helps to keep a flow of tourists and visitors coming through its doors. The Louvre is not free. The standard adult charge is €11, but it's less expensive than the Met, which charges $25. The National is the only free museum, though it does charge for special exhibitions. This means that the Louvre has a very substantial turnover, and this allows it to invest in more works of art and to maintain and improve the museum. The National recently held an exhibition of Leonardo da Vinci's works. The exhibition was very popular, and more than 330,000 people came. But this wasn't as many as the Met's fashion exhibition by Alexander McQueen. Surprisingly, this was more popular than the National or the Louvre's Rembrandt show, which was the least popular of the three. It attracted just 225,000 visitors. A sign of the times, perhaps?
.2 1.
The National is the oldest museum.
2.
It opened in 1753 and is just a little older than the Louvre.
3.
The Louvre is less expensive than the Met, which charges $25.
4.
The most famous painting of all is the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci.
5.
The Louvre has better transport connections.
6.
But this wasn't as many as the Met's fashion exhibition by Alexander McQueen.
7.
Surprisingly, this was more popular than the Louvre's Rembrandt show.
8.
The Louvre's Rembrandt show was the least popular of the three.
Mercedes-Benz has always been one of the most powerful and respected brands in the automobile industry. So it's no surprise that the Mercedes-Benz Museum is one of the most fascinating museums in the world. It's got 9 levels, covers 16,500 square meters, and receives almost 1 million visitors every year. So it's bigger and busier than many other museums. Unusually, visitors start their tour at the top of the building and make their way downwards through the 7 legend rooms. These rooms tell the story of Mercedes-Benz and its parent company, Daimler AG. It begins with the invention of the motor car, when Carl Benz attached a piston engine to a horse-drawn carriage. You can see models of these early vehicles, and also one of the first purpose-built cars, the Mercedes Simplex. The Simplex was easier to handle than earlier prototype motor vehicles, and it is widely considered as the first automobile of the modern age. As you progress, you can see the development of the motor industry, as well as the rapid rise of one of the most recognizable brands in the world. There are Mercedes-Benz limousines, convertibles, roadsters, and this, the world-famous Mercedes-Benz 300 SL. When it was introduced in 1954, the 300 SL was faster than any other car in mass production at the time. With its unique design, it was very popular with sports car enthusiasts. Today, it is one of the most collectible cars in the world and can cost collectors over $1 million. The museum also houses an entire exhibition dedicated to the company's participation in motorsport. Here, visitors can see the current range of Mercedes-Benz sports car racing, rallying, and of course, Formula One models. There are also older, more traditional racing cars, and a lot of memorabilia. There are 5 collection galleries too, showing that Mercedes-Benz isn't just famous for its cars. The Gallery of Voyagers displays Mercedes-Benz passenger vehicles. The Gallery of Carriers shows Mercedes-Benz lorries and other industrial vehicles. The Gallery of Helpers has a collection of police cars, ambulances, and fire engines. And the Gallery of Celebrities displays the many Mercedes-Benz cars owned by famous people. The museum also looks to the future. The Fascination of Technology exhibition displays some of the company's most cutting-edge technology and engineering. It offers an insight into the future of the entire car industry. Like all the best museums, the Mercedes-Benz Museum allows you to explore the past and glimpse the future. It does this in one of the most original, innovative, and stylish museums in the world.
4.3.
Interesting. Dirty. Educational. Relaxing. Exciting. Dangerous. Beautiful. Independent. Expensive. International. Enjoyable. Professional.
High flyer. Special feature. Asia is home to some of the most amazing temples in the world. Here are 3 of our favorites. Tiger's Nest Monastery, Bhutan. The Tiger's Nest or Tuksang was built in 1692. It is one of the most famous temples in Bhutan. The temple is at the top of a 1,200-meter cliff and it takes between 2 and 3 hours to walk there. Visitors need special permission to visit and should go with a guide. Visitors to Bhutan pay a minimum of $250 per day in high season. Kinkakuji, Kyoto. Kinkakuji is a Zen temple built in 1397. One of the buildings is the Golden Pavilion, a 3-story building surrounded by a lake and beautiful gardens. The top 2 floors of the pavilion are covered in gold leaf. The building was built originally as a villa for the shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu. Today the temple and gardens are open to the public. The entrance fee is $4 and the temple is 40 minutes from Kyoto Station by bus. Angkor Wat, Cambodia. Angkor Wat is the most famous temple and the largest archaeological site in the world. The site covers a 400-kilometer area and contains an amazing number of temples and ancient buildings. A one-day pass is $20 and a guide is about $20. It is 20 minutes drive from the nearest town, Siem Reap. It takes 4 hours to get to Siem Reap from the capital, Phnom Penh.
City profile, Kyoto, Japan. If you're interested in Japan, then you must visit Kyoto, along with Tokyo. It's one of the most cosmopolitan and fascinating cities in Japan. And mixture of the traditional and the modern, you'll find ancient temples, lively bars, and wonderful restaurants. If you go, you won't be disappointed. The local people are always pleased to see visitors, and the food is amazing. Geography and history. Kyoto is in the western part of Japan's main island Honshu. It is surrounded by 3 mountains and the Kamogawa River passes through the center of the city. For most of Japanese history, Kyoto was the official capital where the Japanese emperor lived. But Kyoto isn't just a city of tourism. Many people are surprised to learn that Kyoto is also an important center for information technology and education. The electronic games company Nintendo is one of many CE companies that have their headquarters in the city, and Kyoto University is one of the top universities in the world. When to go? Kyoto has a subtropical climate, with mild winters and hot and humid summers. The most popular time to visit is autumn, when the leaves change color and the temple gardens look stunning. But be warned. This time of year is very popular, so if you're annoyed with large crowds, go another time when it is less busy. What to see? Kyoto has so many interesting places to visit, including Labimpito World Heritage Sites. Highlights include Temple. The most famous temple in Kyoto is Kinkakuji, the Golden Temple. Castles. Nijo Castle has a nightingale floor, a wooden floor that squeaks to warn the shogun of possible assassins. Jishas. In Jin, the traditional Jisha district, you can still see trainee Jishas, called Meiko, walking down the street in their wooden shoes. Bamboo forests. If you go to Arashiyama in the north of the city,
you can walk through forests of giant bamboo. What to eat? If you're feeling tired from looking at so many temples, stop and see Usai, the incredible food on offer in Kyoto. A famous kind of food is keiseki ryori, which has many small dishes presented in the most beautiful way. Shojin ryori is based the vegetarian food eaten by Buddhist monks. It contains tofu in pot, which sounds boring, but is actually very tasty. Where to stay? There are hundreds of hotels in the city center. If you want a surprising experience, you could stay in Capsule Hotel where you sleep inside a small space set into a wall. If you want a more relaxing place to stay, I will not stay in a ryokan, a traditional Japanese inn. You'll sleep well and eat the most delicious food.
In the meeting, the team are arranging the route across Kenya. Listen and draw a line to mark the route on the map. 4.6.
That's fine. Okay, let's look at the route for the Kenya safari. One USP of our trip is that it includes visits to World Heritage Sites. We can start in Mombasa and also visit the island of Lamu. Lamu is one World Heritage Site. What are your views?
I'm not sure about that. Lamu is a beautiful place for diving, but that's not really a safari holiday.
I can see where you're coming from, Sumiko. Let's think about this. You also need to fly from Mombasa to Nairobi. That's expensive.
Let's not include Lamu and Mombasa. Let's just include Nairobi.
I agree with that. So we start in Nairobi. What then?
We go directly to Mount Kenya.
And Mount Kenya is a World Heritage Site?
That's right.
Okay.
I think we should arrange a bus from Nairobi to Mount Kenya.
I'm not sure about that. This is an adventure holiday. Our customers don't want a bus. They want to travel by jeep.
I agree with that, provided that the jeeps are new ones. Carry on, Clive.
OK, well, next our tourists go to the Lake Nakuru National Park. The park will be the second World Heritage Site. They spend 2 days there, and then they go to the Great Rift Valley.
Definitely. There are zebras, hippos, and flamingos in the Great Rift Valley. It's beautiful.
Then the tourists go to the Masai Mara Game Reserve. They sleep in tents, and they might see lions, giraffes, and crocodiles.
May I make a suggestion? You can travel in a hot air balloon over the Masai Mara.
You're right. Thanks for raising this, Sumiko. The hot air balloon is a trip of a lifetime, but it's expensive. In my view, the balloon ride should be an extra thing. People pay more money if they want to do it.
I completely agree, Bradley.
After the Masai Mara Game Reserve?
They return to Nairobi for a day or two in the city.
Excellent. It sounds like a very nice trip.